Welcome to Midas 101 with Jim Roese. Today we're going to show you the proper shutdown procedure for Midas console. Once you've had the console and you've used it a few times and you're actually using it as a regular console, it comes as second nature. But if you don't know what you're looking for, it seems like there's no way to shut the console off other than just powering it down. The problem with just powering a console down without doing proper shutdown is it really isn't good for your show file to start with. But along with doing that, if you take a look here, we are active in a show file at this point. And if the console shuts down without being shut down properly, which I'm going to do just to show you at this point, if I can reach the button, we're just going to turn this console off, and I'm going to let it reboot while I show you the other thing on a console next to it here. The proper method of shutting down the console, inside the home screen on the GUI, there's a drop-down menu if you click on it. And inside of here, there's a lot of stuff in here that's not on the surface or not in the preferences above the trackballs. What you want to do for shutdown is you want to scroll down till you get to preferences. This is another thing that sometimes is confusing because if you click on it when you're over the preferences, it just brings up your preferences page, which is not what you're trying to do. If you click on it, you scroll over to the arrow, any of these boxes that have arrows drop to an additional drop-down menu. You can see we've got different ones up here in automation and control groups. But in the preferences, under this arrow, there's an option for shutdown system. Once you click on this shutdown system, you'll see that it's going to ask you if you want to shut down the entire system. If you have a show that hasn't been saved or updated, it'll give you a warning and ask you if you want to do it at that point. But once you click on this, it'll take a couple of seconds. As it shuts down, this will come up, and then the buttons will all turn blood red, and it'll give you a big message of do not turn off the console, please wait. And this will be across the whole console surface. And if you wait while it does its proper shutdown series, this will go on for a little bit, and then there'll be another change. And we'll come back to this in 1 second. We're going to go back over to this Pro 1 that we had shut down wrong. While this Pro 1 was shut down wrong, if we open up, you'll see the console looks identical as it did when we shut it down, correct? The difference is we are no longer in a show file. Without proper shutdown, it loads in last state, but it doesn't shut down the show file, which means you are no longer in your active show file that you were. So if you want to get back to that point, you need to reload your show file. Now that you have your show file active, you can scroll to the scene you want. If you didn't save your show prior to shutdown, save your scene, restore your scene, as soon as you hit any of these scene buttons, it's going to revert to the last place in that scene. If you know that where you're at right now is where you want to be, and this should have been the last thing in your scene, you can click on the scene that you want to go to, and now you can store over this last scene that you're in, and that will put your console into the active scene with the console in the state it's in on the scene you want to be in. You can click to this next empty scene here, and you can say store, and then you would go into overwrite scene, store to empty scene here, and we could put a new one here, or we could have gone to the last scene. We could do what we need to, but it's very important to shut down your console correctly, otherwise it is going to fall outside of its show file. Once it falls outside of the show file, you're going to need to either resave the state of the console back into the console in where you want it to be, or if you hit a reload from something else, you're going to lose that state it's in. Coming back to the console after it's shut down, once it's gone through its proper shutdown, this switch is changed from do not shut off in blood red. It's a nice happy goodbye message. There's one thing that Midas does recommend. Although these buttons will turn to goodbye early, they recommend you wait until the screen turns black before you power your console down. Instead of turning it off as soon as these buttons turn green, they recommend you wait until the actual screen shuts down, and that should be the point of shutdown on the console. Thank you.